Thank you so much for joining every day and giving your association, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dharshini Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, and all glories to all the assembled devotees. This is Kiran Goyal from Baltimore, and I'm sorry, I apologize for interrupting someone else. So, Dandvat Pranams, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Kiran Mataji, Dandvat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for joining the call and giving your association to us, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada. This is Kirtida Dasi from Atlanta. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kirtida Mataji, Dandvat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for joining the call and giving your association to us, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashomati Priya Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Yashomati Priya Mataji, Dandvat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for joining the call every day and giving your association to us, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dharshini Mataji, Dandot Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Dandot Pranams to all the devotees here. This is Sumi from India.
Hare Krishna, Sumi Mataji, Dandvat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for joining the call and giving your association to us today, Mataji, and thank you so much for the very beautiful chanting.
Hare Krishna, Dharshini Mataji, Dandvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandvat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for joining the call every day and giving your association to us, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtida Sundari Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, Dandvat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for joining the call today, Mataji, and we are all very eager to hear from you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandvat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. I welcome all of you to the mid-morning session of Bhakti Sanga Japa Conference group. Before going on with today's session, I would like to read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today. God's another name is Ajita. A means not and Jita means conquered. Nobody can conquer God. He conquers everyone. But devotee can conquer. Although God is Ajita, he becomes Jita, conquered by his devotee. New York, March 5th, 1975. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today's mid-morning call on Sri Caitanya Bhagavata Madhya khanda, chapter 8 is going to be given. The class is going to be given by Her Grace Kirtida Sundari Mataji. The verses are verses 306 to 326. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. We are very grateful to you for giving this class to us, Mataji, and we are very eager to hear from you. I now hand over the call to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dharshini Mataji. Thank you so much for warmly welcoming everybody. Thank you, each and every one of you, for your wonderful and kind association. Really grateful to all of you for your presence. We'll start with our Srimad Bhagavata, Sri Caitanya Bhagavata Katha. But before that, we'll recite Mangalachara to seek auspiciousness, and then we'll move forward. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालय कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः आनंद लीलामय विग्रहाय हेमावतिव्य छविसुंदराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते आजानुलंबित भुजौ कनकावधातौ संकीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ जुगधरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरु करुणावतारौ जयति जयति देवा कृष्ण चैतन्य देवो जयति जयति कीर्तिस्तस्य नित्य पवित्र जयति जयति भृत्यास्तस्य विश्वेश्वमूर्ते जयति जयति नृत्यां तस्य सर्वप्रियाणाम् मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपः तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्येश्वरम्। Krishna, thank you so much once again. Really seek your blessings, prayers, and wishes so that I can speak something relevant to this subject matter. Bow down to each and every one of you. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. All the assembled Vaishnavas ki jai. So, we are in the section of Chaitanya Bhagavat where Mahaprabhu's nocturnal pastimes have started. And Mahaprabhu started his nocturnal kirtan in the house of, mostly in the house of Shivas Thakur, and sometimes in the house of Chandrasekhar. So because Mahaprabhu said that why to waste even a moment? Why to waste the entire night just in sleeping? Why shouldn't we chant and do kirtan? So this way Mahaprabhu was chanting in the house of Shivas Thakur. We read that. And everybody, all the followers of Mahaprabhu were totally intoxicated in so-called Krishna Kirtan that Mahaprabhu was leading. And the only loss was for materialistic people, but they were not able to allow to enter. And the whole night the Lord was singing with his associates, Jai Krishna, Jai Murari, Jai Mukunda, Jai Madhava, Jai Vanmali. So this way they were calling out Krishna's name, they were chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And day and night, Vishambhar, our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was engrossed with his devotees. So this way we saw that how everybody was drowned in ecstasy because Mahaprabhu danced with them, sang with them the entire night. So just like Krishna, even Mahaprabhu has Ashtakali Lila. So we all know that how Krishna has his Ashtakali Lila, like 8 kals, and every kal means it's a prahar, right? And every prahar is divided into 3 hours. So this way Mahaprabhu was, even Krishna was performing his pastimes. So Mahaprabhu was also performing his Ashtakali Lila. Actually, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has written a very beautiful book on it, Gauranga Lilamrta, where he describes the Ashtakali Lila of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what he describes is that the first period, that is from the end of the night, that is from 3:36 to 6 p.m., 6 a.m., is the sunrise, right? And at that time, that is the first Leela, which is the Nishant Leela pastimes. Then comes the second Leela, which is from 6 a.m. to 8:24, which is known as Pratah Leela, where Mahaprabhu used to do his morning pastimes. The third is known as his Purvahana Leela. Purvahana Leela is his noon pastimes, 4 noon pastimes, not exactly the noon pastimes, but the 4 noon pastimes. And that is from 8:24 to 10:48. Then comes his fourth pastime, which is Madhyana Leela, which is actually the afternoon pastimes, which extends from 10:48 to 3:36 p.m. And then has come his fifth pastime, which is Aparahana Leela, which is afternoon pastimes. So after Madhyana Leela, the midday pastimes, comes his afternoon pastimes, that is from 3:36 p.m. to 6 p.m. Then this comes the sixth one, that is a Shayan Leela, right? And that is his dusk pastimes, which extends from 6 p.m. to 8:24 p.m. Then comes his seventh period, that is Pradosha Leela, that is the evening pastimes, which is from 8:24 to 10:48 p.m. And then comes his eighth period, that is his Ashtakali Lila, eighth one, which is Nisha Leela, that is his night pastimes. And that is from 10:48 p.m. to 3:36 a.m. in the morning. Now, this is the time, this Nisha Leela, this is the pastime, eighth period, the night pastime, where Mahaprabhu started this nocturnal kirtan. So I will refer to this book. It is Gauranga Lilamrta. Let me see if I can share. So I can share that verse. So actually, book I can show you. This is the book. All of you can see. It's by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And he has written this Ashtakali Lila of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in that, he quotes this different pastimes. And are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Good. So this is the eighth period, that is from 10:48 p.m. to 3:36 a.m. And it's a midnight pastimes where Mahaprabhu performs his Ashtakali Lila. That is the eighth Lila. That is the midnight pastime where he performs his nocturnal kirtan. Shiva Sangana Vretone Jaganai Saradham Prabhuyam Natam Uchchaistala Mridangavadana Pare Gayadbhir Ullasayam Brahmyan Shila Gadadharena Sahito Nattam Vibhattadbhutam Swagare Shayanale Swapitiyas Tam Gauram Madhya Maham. So again, this is a very beautiful verse by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, where he is describing the Nisha Leela, the night pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he is saying Shiva Sangana means in the courtyard of Shiva's Thakur, Avrata, they were surrounded by whom? Nija Ganesh Shardam, with his own devotees, his own intimate devotees, In Shiva's Angan, in the courtyard of Shiva's Thakur, Mahaprabhu was surrounded by his intimate devotees. Prabhu Bhayam Nattam and two Ubhayam. Ubhayam means two. Two Prabhus were dancing. So that was Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And how they, and what, what else was going on? Ucche Talam Mridanga Vadana Parahi. Like those who were very fond of loud mridangas, drums, they were playing different drums, different mridangas. Ucche Tal in a very loud voice. And next is Gaya Dibhir Ullayasan, means with full ullas, with full enthusiasm, they were singing Krishna's name. And that too on a very high pitch, loudly, they were roaring Krishna's names and Krishna's Mahamantra and other names of Krishna. Brahman Shila Gadadherina Sthito. It's been mentioned there, Gadadhar Pandit, Shila Gadadhar was also there, and he was also wandering amidst all those associates, Naktam at night. And he was like Vibhatiti, Natkam Vibhatyadbhutam, and he was looking very, very wonderful, most astonishing. Swagre Shayanale Swapiti Yastam Gaura Madhyamyaham. And after that, after this Leela, which is from 3:36 a.m. So after 3:36 a.m., Swagre, he will go back to his own home. Mahaprabhu will go back to his home and he will sleep. He will sleep in the Shayana Alaya, his Alaya means the place where he sleeps. So he would go to his bedroom and he will sleep. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, Tham Gauram Adhyemeham, let me meditate on that Supreme Lord, Gaura. Continuing well into the night, the Lord dances and dances with Prabhu Nityananda in the courtyard of Shiva's, surrounded by his most intimate devotees. His ecstatic singing is accompanied by the devotees who are expert in playing very loud rhythms on the mridanga drums. He wanders and dances with Sri Gadadhar Prabhu in the most astonishing way throughout the night until just before dawn. Then he returns to his own home, where he retires to his bed chamber and falls asleep. I thus meditate on the daily pastimes of Sri Gaura. So this is such a beautiful verse. I want to bring it out. But then moving forward with our Chaitanya Bhagavat, we covered few verses yesterday also. So what we covered is that one day, what happened, that Mahaprabhu was in the house of Shiva's Thakur. And suddenly Mahaprabhu started depicting his Bhagavan Bhav. So we all know that Mahaprabhu is always in Bhakta Bhav, in a devotee form. But on that very particular day, he started depicting his Bhagavan Bhav. Now, this is not the first time he's doing it. He did it for a couple of times, okay? And at one time where he did is what is known as Mahaprakash Lila, which went for Sat Prahar, 7 Prahars, that means 21 hours. Prahar is 3 hours, and it went for 7 hours, and that is what is 21 hours. That entire pastime, that entire Mahaprakash Lila went for 21 hours. Now, this time when Mahaprabhu was depicting his Bhagavan Bhav is not what is Mahaprakash Lila. That Mahaprakash Lila, again, when Mahaprabhu depicted his Bhagavan form, his Bhagavata, that will be explained in the next chapter. But in this chapter also, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, that once what happened, Mahaprabhu was at the house of Shiva's Angan, at the house of Shiva's Thakur, and he was dancing. And suddenly he started depicting his Bhagavan Bhav. And then what he did, he took all the Shaligram Shilas that were there on the altar of Shiva's Thakur. He took all the Shilas on his lap, and he himself sat on that Simhasan. And as soon as Mahaprabhu sat on his Singhasan, the Singhasan started making a sound, a cracking sound. because of the weight of Vishwambar. Because till now the Shilas were kept, but now Mahaprabhu himself sat on that Simhasan. So Nityananda Prabhu, who is Anantashesh, who holds the entire universe, not only one, but many universes, he just quickly touched that Simhasan to give a weight on the Simhasan so that it doesn't break and Mahaprabhu can very comfortably sit on it. And Kirtan was stopped because everybody was bewildered seeing Mahaprabhu removing the Shaligram Shilas and himself sitting on that asan. And they started singing Mahaprabhu's glories. And Mahaprabhu, just like our Govardhan, he was calling out, give me food, give me food. He said, I am Krishna, I am Narayan, I am the same son of Devaki, I am Devaki Nandan. And I am in Kali Yuga, I am Krishna and I am Narayan. That's what he said. And everybody was glorifying. And Mahaprabhu said, okay, now you offer me food. And they brought different varieties of food. Yesterday we saw that how different varieties of food were brought. Yogurt, milk, butter, some sugar, some sweets, some sugar candy, coconut pulp, so many things, rice, puffed rice. So many items were brought in front of Mahaprabhu that Vrindavan Das Thakur said that what Lord ate at that very moment was enough to feed 200 people. So that much of bhoga was brought in front of Mahaprabhu, which could feed 200 people, and Mahaprabhu ate all. And in the mood of Govardhan, in the mood of Giriraj, he was saying, Aniyor, Aniyor, bring more, bring more, bring more. And there was nothing, practically there was nothing left in the house. Mahaprabhu ate everything. And then when Mahaprabhu was saying, bring more, and they were frightened. They didn't know what to do now. So they remembered the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they again sang his glory, saying that we don't know what to do. We are done with it. We don't have anything. And then Mahaprabhu said, no, whatever you have, just bring me. And they brought some camphor and betel nuts, and even Mahaprabhu took that. And Mahaprabhu said, whatever you offer me with love and devotion, I accept it, no matter what it is. So this way, Mahaprabhu was in his Bhagavan Bhav, and he was taking this bhoga from the hands of everybody. And he himself was accepting all the bhoga. And then suddenly Mahaprabhu rolled his eyes and he called out, Nada, Nada, Nada. So we all know that Nada, he was referring to Advaita Acharya. So Mahaprabhu was calling out to the name of Advaita Acharya. And everybody, because he was roaring and calling out the name of Advaita Acharya as Nada, 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 everyone got frightened because they were thinking that why Mahaprabhu is roaring like this. To everyone, it seems that Mahaprabhu was a great supreme chastiser, and they had no strength to stand before him. Now, there we ended yesterday, but want to share one thing, that why Mahaprabhu was calling Advaita Acharya as Nada. So Nada has different meanings. Okay, now this is a little controversial thing, but I cannot reconcile everything. So I'm just presenting what our acharyas have said. So Nada, actually, he was referring to Advaita Acharya only. Now, sometimes Mahaprabhu, whenever he is in ecstasy, he would call Advaita Acharya as Nada. Okay. So some people think that Nada means that Advaita Acharya was bald, means he was clean shaven. He didn't have hairs, he didn't have beard, he didn't have mustaches. So he was clean shaved, and that's the meaning of Nada. But our Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his Sajjana Toshini, that volumes of books that he used to write, in one of them he mentioned that actually that's not the real meaning of Nada. Because he said that when we see other pastimes of Advaita Acharya, we come to the conclusion that Advaita Acharya had a beard, he had hairs, And he had his mustaches also, as we see in the temples. In Mayapur temple, if we see Advaita Acharya, he has his white beard. So there, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he mentions one of the words, Tila Tandula Kesha Shobham. This is actually the dhyana, or the verse that helps to meditate on Advaita Acharya. And he mentions Tila Tandula Kesha Shobham, Sukshma Shweta Varam Vibhum. That means Advaita Acharya has a beautiful hair, and that hair is the color of a sesame seed. Tila and Tandula. Tila means sesame seeds mixed with some rice. So, and he wears Kesha Shobham, and his kesh are very, very beautiful. So this also defines that Advaita Acharya has hair, and his hairs were like grayish white because he was an old man. So this shows that he has the combination of black and white hairs, the gray hairs, you can say. So, and then we also see the pastime of Advaita Acharya, where Advaita Acharya wants to preach Yoga Vashishta just so that Mahaprabhu can chastise him, because Mahaprabhu regarded Advaita Acharya as equal to his spiritual master, because Advaita Acharya and Ishwar Puri both were disciples of Madhavendra Puri, right? So because Ishwar Puri was a spiritual master of Mahaprabhu, and Advaita Acharya was a god brother of Ishwara Puri, so he would regard Advaita Acharya always as his spiritual master. So it's only when Mahaprabhu will be in ecstasy that he will call out this word Nada. Now this Advaita Acharya Prabhu thought, we know this pastime from Chaitanya Charitamrita, that I want to be his servant and Mahaprabhu should treat me as a servant. Why he's treating me as his spiritual master? So Advaita Acharya, he quotes this, Prabhu Mora Shashti Karibena Chula Dhari. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavata, sorry, where he says that let Lord punish me. How? By Chula Dhari, by grabbing my hair, because he has a long hair. So he said that I want that Mahaprabhu should pull my hair and should chastise me. Yeta Mora Shashti Prabhu Kare Chula Dhari. And even in Bhakti Ratnakar also, it is being mentioned that Advaita Acharya has this desire that the Lord should punish me and should pull my hair. And because of which he started this Mayavad philosophy, that is Yoga Vashishta. And we all know the pastime that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. He literally grabbed Advaita Acharya from his hair and he started beating Advaita Acharya. And Advaita Acharya was in ecstasy because that's what he wanted. His wish was fulfilled. So this way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes that how Chaitanya Bhagavata, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Ratnakar, there are many books which mentions that Advaita Acharya had a beard and as well as he has a long hair. Then why? What is the meaning of Nada? So there, Bhaktivinoda Thakur states that actually the word Nada means one who moves Krishna, one who moves the throne of Krishna. And in this regard, from Chaitanya Bhagavat only, Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes, Shutiya achilo shira sagara bhitare, nidra bhanga haila mora tomara hum kare. Where Krishna himself, when he appeared, he said, Sutiya achilo, I was simply sleeping. Where I was sleeping? Shira sagara bhitare. I was sleeping amidst the milk ocean. I was resting. Nidra bhanga khaila. And you broke my sleep. And because of the loud cries, Tomara hunkare, because you were roaring like anything, it broke my sleep. And therefore you moved me. You moved me from my resting place and you brought me back to Nadia. So that's why the person who moves Krishna or moves his throne is also known as Nada. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur concludes that actually the word Nada means one who moves Krishna's throne. And that is why he is known as Nara. Now, this is one understanding, but I will again share. This is from Chaitanya Bhagavat only, where it is being mentioned that how our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Now, this is the verse. I hope you all can see. This is the verse which will be coming because this is chapter 16 from Chaitanya Bhagavat. Tarje garje acharya dadite diya hata bhrukuti kareya nacha Shanti Puranatha. So our Nath of Shantipur, that is Advaita Acharya, he was dancing. And how he was dancing, he frowned, bhrukuti kareya, his eyes were like frowned, his eyebrows, and he danced. And he Tarje garje acharya dadite diya hata, and he was touching his beard and he was roaring loudly and he was dancing. That's what say Advaita Acharya, the Lord of Shantipur, touched his beard and roared loudly as he furrowed his eyebrows and danced. This is Vrindavan Das Thakur only who is mentioning, which also gives the praman that Advaita Acharya had beard and hairs. But the commentary, the Gaudiya Bhashya commentary by Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur, he mentions that Advaita Acharya shaved his mustache, his beard and hair. Hair of any length on the chin is in ordinary language called dadi or beard. That is why, due to ignorance, some people attribute on him the symptoms like dress, beard and hair of a foolish baula. But actually he was clean shaven. To address him as Nara is an indication of his shaved head, because Nara in Bengali also means Nyara. Nyara means, it is a corruption word, Nara, because actually the word is Nyara. But when you call it in a local language, it becomes Nara. Refers to a person who was cleanly shaved. Now, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is saying that he was cleanly shaved, and that's what is the meaning of Nara. But our Bhakti Vinod Thakur has given so many examples, as we saw, where he stresses that Advaita Acharya was not clean shaven. Now, how to reconcile this is still a mystery, but our Acharyas, our Guru Vargas, and of course our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada came to this conclusion, and this paper has already been submitted in SAC, that is Shastrik Advisory Committee, where it says that actually all our Acharyas, along with Srila Prabhupada, said that Advaita Acharya had a beard, and it doesn't make sense as per Bhaktivinoda Thakur also, because on one side, Mahaprabhu would be calling and respecting him as a spiritual master, and on the other side, why he will be calling him as Nara? Nara means the one who is bald. It doesn't make sense. But he will call Nara only when he will be in ecstasy, which shows that he will be telling Advaita Acharya that because of you only I came, I incarnated, I came, I was simply resting, but because you roared loudly and because of your prayers, I came down to Nadia. So then why it is being mentioned by Gaudiya Bhashya by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is the only reason that could make sense is that in those times, as per Desh Kal Paristhiti, as Prabhupada says, there was a community that is known as Baula. And they have this feeling that Advaita Acharya belonged to a particular sect where they have this beard and hairs and mustaches. So Baulas, because they are not a Vaishnava tradition, they don't follow Vaishnava tradition, so they don't misinterpret the activities of Advaita Acharya as belonging to a particular sect. So that's why Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentions that Shri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, he was shaved and his mustache and he had no beard and no hair, and therefore he is known as Nara. But nevertheless, why I brought this point is sometimes, if this question is asked, then we should be able to somehow present both the philosophies. But the point is, again, this is not the Siddhanta. Okay, these are just the details. So let's not get into all this, but the Siddhanta is that Advaita Acharya is, of course, he's an Acharya. He is the incarnation of Mahavishnu and Sadashiv, and he was a very intimate devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu appeared because Advaita Acharya called him. He rode, and because of his prayer, Mahaprabhu came. So coming back to our verses of Chaitanya Bhagavat is, let me share. So this is what we have been seeing, that the Lord rolled his eyes and rode loudly as he repeatedly called Nara, Nara, Nara. Now everybody was struck with wonder, and they all sat in silence because the devotees saw the Supreme Lord as the Supreme Chastiser, and they had no strength to stand before him. Now let's see what today's verse is. Nityananda Mahaprabhu Shire Dhari Chhati Joda Kare Advaita Samukhe Karastuti. Our Nityananda Mahaprabhu, Chhati means chhata. He took an umbrella over Mahaprabhu's head, and Mahaprabhu was sitting on that simhasan on the altar of Shiva's Thakur. And Advaita Acharya offered prayers with his folded hands. Mahabhaya Joda Hate Sabha Bhakta Gana Henta Matha Kari Chinte Chaitanya Charana. In great fear, all the devotees, Mahabhaya, they were in great fear. They folded their hands and they remembered the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they bowed down to his lotus feet. Aishwarya Shunite Jahara Shukha Se Avashya Dekhiba Chaitanya Shrimukha. Anyone who is pleased to hear about this display of opulence by the Lord will certainly see the beautiful face of Lord Chaitanya. This is the Falashruti that Vrindavan Das Thakur gives. Then Vrindavan Das Thakur says, Ye khane ye ache se acheya se khane tadur rudava haite keha nare agnavine. That one will understand these pastimes according to his own qualification. No one can understand more without the sanction of the Lord. Now, this is also a very important verse. We have already seen in the previous verses that yes, the pastimes were going on, nocturnal kirtans were going on, they were all in bliss, but they all understood as per their own qualification. The people who were outsiders, who were outside that house of Shiva's Thakur, who were materialistic, they had no qualification whatsoever to understand what was going on inside. And they made so many speculations. We read all those verses. So it's just because of the sanction of the Lord. That is why it is said that this pastimes of the Lord, dham of the Lord, or the scriptures, they are apaurushim. They're not written by some ordinary man. So the scriptures, the dham, the pastimes, the name, all this, the Supreme Lord is absolute, and it has to be revealed in the heart of a devotee. Right? You cannot get through any kind of such knowledge by joining some academic school. No. Materialistic knowledge can be obtained by joining some material college or school, but the spiritual knowledge has to be revealed in the heart of a devotee. Yes, somebody can say, well, I studied Bhagavad Gita under such and such Acharya. Yes, we can study these scriptures, we can study Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can study Srimad Bhagavatam, but Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Bhagavat, these are not ordinary books, these are the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, and they have to be revealed in the heart of a devotee. So when we go to Dham, yes, we say we went to Navadvip Dham, we went to Vrindavan Dham, we went to Puri Dham. Yes, we go to Dham, we go in the association of devotees, but ultimately this Dham has to be revealed to us. Otherwise, even though if we are going in the association of devotees, what we will see is not the original potency of Dham, but we will see all that is presently there in Dham, that is the dust, dirt, or in Vrindavan, you'll see all the pigs around, then you will not be able to, I'm not saying you, I'm saying we, then we will not be able to relish Dham. So Dham has to be revealed. The pastimes have to be revealed. We can study, we can do some smaran on it, very good. But ultimately, it has to be revealed. Therefore, all these pastimes, there needed some qualification, right? Without Lord's sanction, nobody would have been able to understand what's going on. What to talk about those materialistic? Now, those who are with Mahaprabhu are also bewildered. They are also so much frightened. They are also not able to understand that why Mahaprabhu is sitting on the throne, what he wants to depict. They were also bewildered. So no one can understand more without the sanction of the Lord. So this also we have to keep this in the mind, that everything has to be revealed in the heart of a devotee. And that can only be done when we meditate more on Lord's pastimes and Lord Dham potency, then, or if we do more smaran, then yes, there is a possibility that the Lord sanctions and so-called pastimes can be understood. Then Mahaprabhu, because he shouted Nada Nada, so he is telling, Varamage bale advaitara mukhi chahi tora lagi avatara mura he thani. So he's saying, oh Nada, oh Advaitacharya. He looked at Advaitacharya because he was frowning and he was calling out. And he said, ask for some benediction. So you are the one, right? You are the one who shook me from my throne. You are the one who disturbed me. And you are the one who brought me here. I descended here because of you. I am here now. Tell me what do you want? What benediction do you want? Ask for some benediction. So he is totally in Bhagavan Bhav. Mata Saba Bhakta Dekhiya Maga Bale Prabhu Hasiya. And Lord was smiling and looking at each of the devotees who were present there, and he was telling everybody, ask for benediction, ask what do you all want from me, why you called in, what is your agenda and why you want me here. So please reveal and tell me, ask some benediction. Mata Prabhu Nija Aishwarya Prakash. And this way Mahaprabhu was showing his Aishwarya, his opulences. Dekhi Bhakta Gana Sukha Sindhu Maje Bhash. And in this, on seeing this, the devotees floated in an ocean of bliss by seeing Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu showing this Bhagwan Bhav. Iti Drikswa Lila Bhirananda Kunde. That Damodar Ashtakam also says that how Krishna, he drowns everybody in Vrindavan. He drowns all the Vrajavasis in the pool of ecstasy through his beautiful pastimes. And this way Mahaprabhu is also drowning everybody, all the Navadvipvasis, especially his intimate associates, in the pool of ecstasy by showing his different pastimes. Achintya Chaitanya Ranga Bhujanana Jaya Shanake Aishwarya Kari Puna Murcha Paya. Now then nobody could understand this Achintya pastimes, this inconceivable pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because as Mahaprabhu was showing his Bhagavan Bhav, he was telling everybody, ask for benediction, ask for benediction. And at that very shan, just after that, that very moment, Mahaprabhu fainted. He fell unconscious. Bhaya Prakashiya Purna Karaya Krandan. And as soon as Mahaprabhu regained his external consciousness, he started crying. Dasya Bhava Prakasha Karaya Anukshana. And then why he was crying? Because he was now in Bhakta Bhav, in Dasya Bhav, in the mood of a servant. He was crying, because he regained his external consciousness. Galadhari khande sabha vaishana dekhiya sambhare sambhase bhai bandhava baliya. The Lord then put his arms around the devotees, because now he needed the association of devotees. He was crying in Radha Bhav. He was crying remembering his Supreme Lord. And the devotees, he took the support of all the devotees. He put the arms around his devotees and he addressed, "Oh bhai, oh brother, oh bandhu, oh friend, please help me, please help me." Because now he is in Dasya Bhav. लखी तेना पारा के हाँ हेना माया करे भृत्या भीना तारा तत्वा के भुजीते पारे. The power of his Maya Shakti, his illusory energy was such that no one could recognize him. No one other than his servants could understand him truth. So only the intimate devotees who were there could understand that how Mahaprabhu, sometimes he is in Bhagwan Bhav and sometimes he is in Bhakta Bhav, but rest nobody was able to recognize that what Mahaprabhu is doing. On one instance, we see that he is sitting on the throne, and just after that, he is fainting and he's crying and he's asking help from all his friends and brother. He's addressing everybody as friend and brothers. Prabhura charitra dekhi hase bhakta gana. Seeing these characteristics of Mahaprabhu, everybody was smiling. Sabai balena avathirna narayana. And then everybody in unison, they said that our Lord Narayan has appeared. Because when Mahaprabhu sat on the throne, on the Simhasan, he called out, he said that in Kali Yuga, I am Krishna, I am Narayan, and I am the son of Devaki. I am Devaki Nandan, I am Yashoda Nandan. So they all said, yes, our Narayan has appeared, he has incarnated. Katashana thaki Prabhu khatara upara anande murchita haila shari gaura sundra. After remaining on the Simhasan for some time, Lord Gaurachandra fell unconscious in ecstasy. And when he fell in ecstasy, then what happened? Dhatu matra nahi padilina prithve. He fell on the ground, he fell on the earth, and dhatu matra, dhatu means, Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur says that the word dhatu refers to air, bile, and mucus. So this is the three things through which the Ayurvedic doctors find out whether you have a kapha, vata, pitta, right? What is high in your body. They can get it through this air, bile, and mucus. So these are the elements that could make, when the Ayurvedic doctor, they touch our nerve, then they get to know, okay, what is right and what is wrong. We are high in kapha, vata, or pitta. So this also indicates the life in the body. So they touched, as soon as Mahaprabhu was fallen on the ground, they all touched Mahaprabhu and they couldn't find any dhatu matra nahi, they couldn't find any symptom of air, bile, and mucus. That means they jumped on to the conclusion that Mahaprabhu left us and Mahaprabhu is no more. Sarva bhakta gana yukta karite lagila, ama sabha chhadiya vatha kura chalila. That all they concluded that our Lord has left us and went back to his Vaikuntha planet. Then they said, Yadi Prabhu e mata nishthura bhava kare. If really he is so nishthur, if our Supreme Lord, our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so cruel that he has left us, amara hashane chhadi besari sharire, then even us, now we will also give up this body. This shana, this moment we will leave this body, because Mahaprabhu has shown his nishthurta, his cruelness by leaving us, because they all jumped to this conclusion that Mahaprabhu is no more, because they were not able to find this symptom of air, bile, and mucus in the body. Just then what happened? Eteke chintite sarvagnera chaudamani bhaya prakashaya kare mahahari dhvani. And like when the devotees were thinking, eteke chintite, when devotees were thinking in this way that Mahaprabhu is so nishthur, he is so cruel that he left us, so we should also give up our body. Immediately, the Sarvagnera Chudamani, the crust jewel of all people, he manifested his Bhaya Prakash. He came to his external consciousness and he started chanting Hari, 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 Mahakari Haridwani. Loudly he started chanting the name of Hari. to give assurance that I'm still here. I was just in my internal consciousness, but as soon as he gained his external consciousness, he started chanting the name of Lord Hari. Sarvagrane uttila ananda kolahala, na jani ke kona dige haila vivala. They all raised a tumultuous sound of ecstasy, and being overwhelmed, they did not know where they were. So they forgot their external surroundings, that where they are, and they all raised a tumultuous sound of ecstasy, seeing Mahaprabhu back in this world. So they all started joining Mahaprabhu in this Mahadhvani of chanting Lord Hari. And Ei Mata Ananda Hayana Vadvipa Pure Prema Rase Vaikuntara Nayaka Vivare. And in this way, Iti Driksva Lila Virananda Kunde, just like Krishna, even Mahaprabhu was drowning everybody in that ananda, in that bliss. He was performing his beautiful pastimes in Navadvipuram. Prema Rase Vaikuntara Nayaka Vivare. Nayaka, Vaikuntha Nayak means the Lord of Vaikuntha. He is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He enjoyed his pastimes of ecstatic love, Prema Rasa. The word Navadvipura refers to Gaudapura or Shri village Mayapur. Ei sakala punya katha ei kare shravana bhakta sange gaura chandre rahutaramana. Now they are saying, the Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, Ei sakala punya katha. May this auspicious topic never ends. May the mind of one who hears this auspicious topic should always remain at the lotus feet of Gaurachandra, who is surrounded by his devotees. Now, this is the meditation of our mind, that our mind should always be engrossed in the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, in the pastimes of our divine couple, in the pastimes of Shri Gaurachandra, because then only the mind will be under control. Otherwise, the uncontrolled mind is like a monkey that jumps from one branch to another, to another, to another, and makes all our senses go hither and thither. And that's not a good thing. So therefore, Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying that, Ei sakala punya katha, this auspicious pastime, ye Karishravana, those who hear this pastime, and they may get the lotus feet, Bhakta Sange Gaura Chandra, not alone, but in the association of all his devotees. Tarahut Taramana, may that mind may always be engrossed in hearing the beautiful pastimes of Gaurachandra along with his associates. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chanda Jana Vrindavana Dasat Chupade Yuga Gana. And accepting, this is the celebrated verse that Vrindavan Das Thakur always quotes at the end of the chapter, that accepting Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Thus ends the English translation of the Gaudiya Bhashya commentary on Sri Caitanya Bhagavata Madhya khanda, chapter 8, entitled The Manifestation of Opulences. So we have seen that how in this chapter Mahaprabhu depicted so many of his opulences. When that Shiva Bhakta came and Mahaprabhu sat on his shoulders and he was dancing, and then how he was bewildering everybody, because day and night he was just engrossed in Krishna. Even if his mother would call out and say something, he will only say Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. He was always engrossed in chanting the name of Krishna. And how in this chapter Mahaprabhu started his nocturnal kirtan, how he bewildered all his associates by showing his, sometimes showing his Bhagavan Bhava and sometimes showing his Bhakta Bhava. So these verses, we can end here, because these verses are such verses which has to be relished on our own. We cannot speak, at least I'll talk about myself. I know devotees can elaborate on these verses for length, but I feel that I have this limitation, this shortcoming, that I cannot say anything more about these verses except just reading and reading the verses and reading the translation, because these are such verses which has to be relished by a devotee. Seeing that ups and downs in Mahaprabhu's pastimes is what has to be relished. Some topics, like in Krishna Lila also, there are some topics which has to be relished in our own bhajan, in our own sadhana. And therefore, some topics of Mahaprabhu are also such which has to be relished, like his Sankirtan, what he did in Srivas Thakur's Angan, and of course Mahaprabhu's Gambhira pastimes that we have seen in Chaitanya Charitamrita. All these pastimes are to be relished, to understand the real mood of Mahaprabhu, to understand the real mood of Krishna, why he appeared in this yuga, in this Kali Yuga as Mahaprabhu, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Gaura Sundar, and then why in a hidden incarnation he appeared. So these are some verses which has to be relished. But in chapter 9, again Mahaprabhu, see right now Mahaprabhu showed his Bhakta Bhav. He took Shaligram Shila on his lap, he sat on the throne, and he was calling out everybody to ask for benediction. But then he fell down in ecstasy, and he again came back to his external consciousness of being a bhakta, of being a devotee. So Mahaprabhu performed such 3 to 4 times as per Vrindavan Das Thakur. But in the next chapter, that is chapter number 9, Vrindavan Das Thakur will be sharing that again Mahaprabhu took the same step, and he took that Shaligram Shila from Srivas Thakur's altar, he put it on his lap, and then again he showed his Bhagwan Bhav. But this time, it was not like he showed and he came back to his Bhakta Bhav, but this time he will show his Mahaprakash Lila, and he'll call out each and every name of the devotee, and he will give a lot of benedictions, and he will prove himself. He will prove to each and every of his intimate devotee that I am that Supreme Lord whom you all worship. So that's the wonderful chapter, that is Mahaprakash Lila, and that we will continue from tomorrow. So thank you all so much. Thank you for your patiently listening. I know this was very simple, but as I said, that such topics have to be relished. So we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai. Sri Caitanya Bhagavata ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, what a beautiful class, beautiful, beautiful class. Thank you so much. Thank you for clarifying about Advaita Acharya's, his basically what Nada is and about how he looks, everything. Yes, these pastimes are really, really, we have to meditate, understand them. We should have the Vignan, rather, the revealed knowledge as we think about these pastimes. It is very difficult for us to just hear and have realizations, rather, as you said, you have to contemplate, and then it is finally revealed. So thank you so much. I really take that as a take-home message. Thank you for the very wonderful class, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Thank you.
Anyone has questions, comments, realizations, please proceed.
Everyone is in ecstasy.
I don't know if they've been, well, let me check it by any chance. Allow participants. Yeah, they are allowed to. Yeah.
Okay. No worries. I'm pretty sure today is nothing much to ask. Yes, Yashomati Mataji, you want to add something?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga. Yeah, so whatever you say, it is very, very nice and beautiful class to hear the pastime of Lord Mahaprabhu's ecstatic symptoms. But whatever you say, our mind should always be engrossed. But Mataji, it's not very difficult to continue our mind to engross in the pastime of Leela. So what is the reason, or how can we do our mind continuously contemplated?
Yeah, in Mana Shiksha, it has been mentioned that how we can absorb our mind in hearing Krishna's pastime is just by hearing. So
Yes,
there in Manashiksha, there are 11 verses that is a prayer actually to the mind only. What Raghunath Das Goswami wrote, that it's the prayer to the mind, that how mind can only be controlled when it is engrossed in the pastimes of the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, or engrossed in the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. So that's the prayer to the mind that he writes. So the point is that how we can also control our mind is to consciously absorb ourselves in hearing the pastimes. Let's make it a habit of reading either Mahaprabhu's pastimes or Krishna's pastimes every day. And as our Acharya says, that how it is very important that at least for 10 minutes, if we can meditate on those pastimes, what we have read. So that really helps. Just not reading, but sparing some few moments of our time every day and meditating on those pastimes. That really helps the mind to be engrossed in the pastimes. And once we read, once we meditate, let's make it a point to share also with others. Like this is what we read. Not to everybody, but at least to close people whom we think that, okay, they'll not make fun of us and they'll understand, and they'll not be kind of envious us. But we should have some spiritual buddy kind of thing with whom we can share what we read, what we meditated upon. And that way, when we share, it really stays with us. It doesn't go away. So once you share, it stays with us. So let's make this as a habit from now, that we should try to control our mind by reading pastimes, either of anybody, of Nityananda Prabhu, of Mahaprabhu, of Advaita Acharya, of Krishna, of Srimati Radharani. We can read those pastimes, we can meditate on those pastimes, and let's, at least with one person, try to share those pastimes. So that way,
yes,
to an extent, we'll be able to fix our mind at the lotus feet of Krishna.
yeah, yes, Mataji, I do sometimes with my Prabhu and my daughter and everything last time. But I am talking about when in material, just like if we are starting some work, at that time our focus in the work, and we just forget that thing to remember Krishna or Mahaprabhu.
We forget, yeah, when we are engrossed in our own work or we are engrossed in our own thoughts, the material thoughts, then we sometimes, not sometimes, we normally forget to
Normally.
Krishna's name or think of Krishna. So in that case, Mataji, only thing is that, yes, when we are so much engrossed and we forget Krishna and we are just dwelling in all those material thoughts, at that time we cannot do anything. But while doing it, even if once it comes to our mind that, oh, what I'm thinking, then immediately we should start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Again, it will be a conscious effort that we have to make, that Harinam should not leave our mouth and our tongue should always vibrate in chanting Krishna's name. Again, it will come by practice. So conscious effort has to be made that we can chant Krishna's name, anything. Like if we want to chant Gopal, and if we want to chant Govinda, or we want to chant Shri Radha's name, any name we feel like, it's not just the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it's the holy name, right? Holy name, we can call out Krishna, 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 Govinda, 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 Madhava, Madhava. Anything we can, just keep on chanting the Krishna's name. That will really help us. But at times when the mind goes, yeah, it goes. You cannot do anything. But the moment we realize that I'm simply
that's what
wasting
I
my
do,
time, at that time at least we can bring back.
Thank you, Mataji.
The more we bring back, the more we will train our mind to stay at the lotus feet of Krishna. It's all practice, Mataji. It's all practice.
Thank you, Mataji, so much.
I know I can just say I myself
Always grateful
not
to you,
following it,
Mataji.
but yeah, I can just say it as a parrot.
No, Mataji. You are the exhaust devotee.
Anything else?
No, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
so we can stop here. Thank you all so much for your wonderful association. Thank you, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, for turning on your video.
Mataji, koti koti danvat pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Your class is always very, very Mataji, बहुत potency होती है. हम एक दो तीन बार सुनते हैं तभी we can understand Mataji. So much potency. Learn so many things from you, Priti Vilasi, and all Bhakti Sangha teacher. Thank you, Mataji. Koti koti danvat pranam. Sometimes I have to leave because of my class. For that, please forgive me.
That's okay, Mataji. That's okay. Still, you are dedicating your time in listening. What else is needed? Thank you, Kiran Mataji. Thank you, Yashwamati Mataji. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Really grateful to all of you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha.
Kripasim
Patitanam
Vaishnavibhyo namo namo.
Ananta Koti
Ananta
Vaishnava
Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki
Vrinda
jai,
Jai.
Guru Srila
Vrindavan
Prabhupada
Das
ki
Thakur
jai,
Bhagavata
Bhakti
Prabhupada ki
Sanga
jai.
Sundari Mataji ki
Mataji
jai.
ki jai.
Vrinda Vaishnavas ki
Hari
Thank you
Bol.
so much.
Jai. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.